Hello and welcome to What's Hot. This is the show where we get into what's new, what's hot and what's trending. I am Lovedale.
And I'm Uncle Timothy.
Joining us today is foodfluencer Io the Foodie.
Hi.
Hi. So today we're talking about African food and the misconceptions that it's unhealthy. All in all, whether or not African food is seen as unhealthy is subjective. Generally, most African food contains a lot of healthy ingredients. However, depending on how much of it is used and how much is eaten, that ultimately contributes to the unhealthiness. If cooked properly and eaten moderately, all food should be fine. What are your thoughts on the subject overall?
I agree with you. I think the biggest issue that Africans have is that we put so much oil in our food, oil and palm oil as well. Because if you look at the ingredients, what we have and everything we have, they're quite healthy. Like our stews and spinach is vegetables, it's protein and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then we have to add so much palm oil to it. And palm oil is really nice, but you add a lot of palm oil and you add a lot of oil in it to kind of last long, and that's the issue we have. Because like I said, everything's healthy, and we don't really over season food too much. So it's not like we've got too much sodium or MSG or whatever, but it's the oil that we use, and that is one thing that can really clog up our arteries and kind of like mess us up. So I think our food can be healthy, but I think now the way everyone's changing, everyone's being keto and whatever, they're kind of having new different types of ways. So I know some people are using coconut oil as a substitute and just different types of oil. We use swallow, so like pounded jam and that. There are new things you can have. I don't know if you've heard of cabbage swallow. So I have a family friend who's keto. I've tried it. So there's like a substance, Physalis flux or something along those lines. You can get it from Holland and Barrett, and it's a substance that you can mix in with either cabbage or broccoli or cauliflower, and you mix it together, and it basically looks like pounded jam. And you just eat it with swallow. So you literally have no calories, no nothing, because it's literally cabbage. It tastes. I like it.
Okay.
The thing is, it can be green, so you're looking at like green, but you can have usually normal white cabbage, is white, so you can. It looks like pounded jam.
Oh wow.
Dip it with your normal stew, so it's just like pounded jam, and that is much healthier because pounded jam amylates a lot of starch and carbohydrates, and that makes our stomach look big, and we don't want that. So it's subjective to what you put in the food.
Do you think it's also our portions? Because I think like when I think about my parents, like my dad,
because you don't need 10 meats in your plate. And when you have pounded jam, like you have the one and they put two. And it's not necessary, and then that's how uncles just be sweating.
My dad sweats so bad.
It's not necessary. We don't need 10 meats on the plate. So
it's
portion sizes as well.
I think the idea of eating and then we sleep is something that we also have to like. Yeah, it's a big problem because we'll all eat our Sunday dinner. And then everybody will just take the corners of their house you'll just
Sunday after church. That's not like, yes. But you know what? I think the African black community, we work a lot. So a lot of people come back late. So just a normal 9 to 5. My parents come back late. My sister come back late. I come back late from work. Dinner might not start cooking till 7 if no one's at home. 8 o'clock, and then you've had like a full stomach of pounded jam. And I think they do say you need to eat like at least 4 hours before you sleep. Eat pounded jam, and you go to bed at like 9:30. You're gonna be I think problem as well.
It's a different culture to the way we eat, because even my mum will go and eat breakfast at crazy time. Like it's just, and the portion will be huge, and it's not like maybe I'll eat something small if I'm on the go, but my mum will be like, there's nothing gonna. I'll eat my bowl of
breakfast should be like I don't know, Sunday mornings yam and egg, like that's something I used to eat like first thing Sunday morning before church. And yam and egg's nice, but it's a bit heavy for breakfast. I didn't really grow up eating cereal for breakfast. I don't eat it now. Every Sunday morning it's yam, it's egg, it's potato, it's egg, it's bread, it's egg. Oh God.
I feel like your energy foods should be your first foods, because that's what you're running on for the day. So your breakfast, your lunch is what's supposed to be those foods that are going to give you energy for the day. Then when you're going to bed, I mean, if you're eating in the evening, you're eating obviously to get your nutrients and stuff, but you don't need energy per se. You're going to bed.
It's true.
Do you see what I mean? So this idea that we eat our heaviest, most, how are you burning that off if you're going to sleep? So we're kind of a bit backwards in that sense.
And I think that influences the conversation about, is the food unhealthy? Because I don't think, like you said, I don't think our food is unhealthy. I think we cook really well. We use a lot of oil, but we can even reduce it. Like my mum uses a lot of turmeric in her jollof rice, for example. So there's other ways around it. But I think the way we eat is such a traditional thing. Like even coming back home, like it doesn't matter. My dad can come home at 11. My mum can come home and there'll be food on the table. They'll yam it, and then that's it.
And at those times you should eat something light.
And a lot of our food is like what's the word, like fresh ingredients. Like if you going back home to Nigeria, the food just tastes different, and it's annoying because in London here we make stew, it's like 20 minutes, just get chicken, whatever. In Nigeria, you're cutting the chicken, you're getting that, and I'm like, oh, having rice and stew, corn, I'm waiting like an hour and a half, but it's because everything is fresh. And I think because of the heat, you can't preserve food too much, so everything is really fresh, like the vegetables, moi beans, all of that stuff is really good for you as well. Like there's a lot of things, gari, plantain, you know, everyone uses plantain for everything, and that's like the staple in Nigeria, Africa. So our food is very rich, but it's just kind of the added, because there are some people who they like, not everything needs to be seasoned with Maggi cubes, you know? And they want to season everything with Maggi cubes, and you know, even though it tastes nice, obviously what's inside a lot of these seasonings is not really good for you. So you have to kind of think when you're making chicken, sometimes salt and pepper, you know, it's all right, and your natural herbs, your thyme, your rosemary, and that's what Caribbeans do a lot. They kind of use more like thyme and all of that stuff, whereas we Maggi cube, crayfish powder, you know, all-purpose powder, all of this, it's like, okay, out of the 10 seasonings we can kind of cut it down, because things like fish has flavor already, so you don't need to season fish as much as you think you need to, but you know, when you go there, pepper and there's this and it's like, okay, cool, it's fine. So it's just kind of everything needs to be in moderation.
Moderation is the key. I think obviously a lot of Africans are becoming more health conscious. You're seeing them like doing the exercise, they're running across the bridge, you know, things like back home and stuff. So generally we're becoming more health conscious, where back in the day having weight was like that's nice,
in
but
Nigeria
now people
or Africa, being big, it's like, oh, she's rich, the man is rich, and then if the woman is big, it's kind of like, oh, they're being fed by their husband is looking after them, and if the husband's big, oh, your wife, she's looking after you. That was back in the day, but now kind of we're more working with seeing that high blood pressure, heart attack, diabetes, all of this stuff, and there's a lot of health issues within the black community that we're not aware of. So I think they're now understanding. That's what I'm saying. During lockdown, I ride my bike every morning, and I'm just seeing all these aunties in the park jogging, and I'm like, oh yes, auntie, you got it. And that's something you would never, my mum rides a bike, you can never catch my mum ride a bike. So it's things that they're kind of now seeing, because we want to live long, we want to enjoy our life, and food is a big issue for us. So
I think because food is a part of culture for us, you know, not every culture has food as a staple, but if you think about parties, you think about any celebration you have, food is
even church, like my mum says there was a pastor,
meat pie, Scotch egg, sausage,
even my mum used to say there was a pastor that said he had high blood pressure, and then he said, I had high blood pressure, so what I did is I came home and I faced one heavy plate of amala. Right, you have high blood pressure, you just want to add.
And we love food, and food is part of like the African culture. My house is like, we party all the time. The reason why I got into catering and cooking is like, we have parties all the time, and my mum is the type of person, she likes to do things herself, she doesn't like to, so she's used to cooking the food, so we have all the equipment in my house. Like I never woke up one day and said, oh, I want to be a caterer, but I looked at the resources in my house, and I'm just like, we have Eid parties, we have Christmas parties, we have Easter, we bank holiday, we celebrate a lot of stuff in our house. That's just how we are, and we enjoy cooking food, and I can cook for the whole day and not eat it, but everyone's enjoying it. So that's something we do. We can't go to a hall party, even when you go to a normal house, someone's house, and your mum says don't eat someone's food. But if they don't offer you food, it's like, run.
Even
though your mum will pinch you and be like, you know, but you need to, you know, it's part of our thing. It's put together. Aunties in Nigeria, in Nigeria, when they're having parties, everyone's just there cooking. You just have to just be a part of it.
It's part of our culture. What would you say your final thoughts? What would be your top tips for people that want to make their food healthier, African food healthier?
Portions, and kind of look at like alternatives in terms of, like I said, people now use coconut oil in certain things, so people might now use basmati rice instead of long grain rice. Like just kind of look at an alternative in terms of whatever you want to eat. So if you want to eat beans, like what's a healthy, everything is on the internet. That's one thing people don't understand. Everything is on the internet. So if you want to say what is a healthier version of eating amala, there will be something there. I didn't know you could turn cabbage into a swallow until like last year, and that's something people really do. A lot in Nigeria, those that are doing a keto diet, they all use cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower to make a swallow. So it's kind of just doing your research and looking at, you know, and portion wise, if you're just eating for yourself, you don't need 10 meats and you don't need 5 bowls of be realistic.
It's true.
Look, and then even the plates that you use, I always eat out of a bowl. It's a habit. I eat out of a bowl, and it's less than eating out of a plate, because I look at a plate and you want to fill up the plate, but then you force yourself to eat because you don't want to waste food. So kind of use bowls and smaller portions. So,
I love that. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Those are good tips. All right, we need to take a short break, but when we're back, we'll be talking about Burna Boy's new album and the end of free travel.